I finished high school, when I was 18 years old, becoming an academic was the last thing I wanted to do. I thought these academics don't know where the real world is all about. In this particular experiment, the walker turns either.
What changed for you?
Well, I think I just accumulated over the 5 or 6 years after high school a craving for knowing what really turns the world.
How do you feel?
My main motivation and my main question has always been how our brain, how our visual system organizes the flow of incoming sensory information into something that it can really work with.
You just keep doing that?
Yeah, sure.
I used to work in face recognition, and I ended up working with pigeons. Pigeons are relatively social as well, and there's lots of need for them to recognize each other individually. But it also turned out that they are not interested whatsoever in static images of pigeon faces. What they were interested in was motion. And I ended up studying motion perception in pigeons and then later in humans, and that's what we are doing now.
Okay, so left thigh. So you want it so that it sits on the side, so that it faces...
There's lots of properties of emotional states, personality traits that we can retrieve from the way someone moves.
Just walk naturally, okay, a bit quicker than that.
So if you go to our webpage here at biomotionlab.ca, that just shows you how much information you can retrieve from, in this case, just 15 dots. You not only get demos, but you get a couple of serious experiments. The experiment I want to show you here is one where people have to guess the gender, the sex of individual point light walkers. This, I guess, is a man. I guess this is a woman. Oh yeah, I got 8 out of 10 correct here. Wow. And so we can run experiments that require not just 10 subjects or 100 subjects, but we can collect data from 10,000. There's mainly 2 areas or applications that we are interested in. The most obvious is really computer animation. Artificially, we can generate biological motion patterns that make a walker with a certain, say, gender or age or emotions or personality traits, and it becomes the more interesting, the more realistic computer animation has become. On the clinical side, I think there is lots we can help to improve both in working with neurological patients as well as working with orthopedic patients. But the third area is really mental health. Over the last 2 years, I had worked together with a colleague in clinical psychology on the changes in gait that we observe with clinically depressed people. We are asking whether not only does the way you feel change the way you move, but we want to explore whether the way you move can also have an effect on the way you feel. If you're really interested in something, you find your niche and your speciality. You need a real interest. You have to figure that out first. Yeah. It took me a long time to figure it out, but I very much like what I'm doing now. Yeah.